On this episode of the Layover Live, Caroline Dawson and Cody Bott stop by to talk TikTok. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 156 of the Layover Live, where we bring you the top article from the Layover each week. I'm Jason Swick, VP of Strategy, and welcome this week to the show. You know, the pandemic has had all of us fantasizing about travel again. I mean, you could smell recovery in the air, right? But, you know, one of the effects of the being on lockdown is the explosion in social media. And the platform that has really been showing a ton of potential along the way is TikTok. Now, it seems like everyone is on TikTok these days, and that is mostly because we are all looking for ways to stay entertained while we're at home. Surely you've seen the videos of people dancing and lip syncing to your favorite songs. I know my kids are constantly watching Addison Rae and Charli D'Amelio. But, you know, it's not just about lip syncing and dancing anymore. In fact, the hashtag hotel has seen 2.7 billion views. And hashtag travel has more than 32 billion views, which is just an insane number. And it's not just the younger generation anymore, as numbers are really starting to increase in other age categories as well. And this is no different than we've seen on other platforms like Facebook and Instagram over the years. If you don't think it's making waves, just look to the competitor platforms in this space. Instagram with Reels now and YouTube with Shorts, and you'll see just how others are reacting to this incredible platform. Now, our article of the week this week comes from hospitality.net, and it talks about how platforms like YouTube and TikTok are becoming influential in future travelers' booking decisions. And with that today, I have two very special guests on to talk with us about how some destinations are taking advantage and capturing some of that attention. So first I have Caroline Dawson, who's our Director of Business Development. So Caroline, always good to see you. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks very much for having me. A very big hello from Wales.
Yes, we don't get to say that very often on the show. A hello from Wales. I love that, and it sounds so wonderful. Okay. And Cody, yes, absolutely. How about that? And we also have Cody Bott, who's a content specialist with Simple View Marketing Team, and Cody's out in Austin. So Cody, welcome to the show.
Yeah, hi, Jason. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I'm super happy to have you here. All of you have probably seen a ton of Cody's content. She does an extremely excellent job with Simple View's marketing team, and you've probably read a lot of her blogs. So I want to kind of like jump right into it. Cody, I've got you. So I want to just ask you a little bit about what exactly, is TikTok. I know we've heard a lot about it, right? We've definitely seen some funny videos, or we've heard friends talking about it. But, why should DMOs, be considering or using this platform today?
Yeah, absolutely. I think I'm shocked to hear you say the words Addison Rae and Charli D'Amelio. So I think that speaks to the reach of the platform. But as you said, it really is the latest trend in social media marketing. And with 1 billion, I think, active users worldwide, it's pretty easy to see why. So to give a little bit of background, TikTok is a video sharing application that allows users to share short form video content of up to about 60 seconds. So one thing TikTok is really known for is it has a great algorithm. So it really is good at pushing out content to people who have relevant interests. So it makes it a lot easier to grow on TikTok as opposed to Facebook and Instagram, where that's becoming a lot harder these days. It did start out as, it was actually called Musical.ly, and it started as an app for lip syncing and dancing. So I think that's where it got a lot of its reputation, but it's evolved and grown so much over the last few years, and you can find anything on there, from skincare to real estate to cooking, and of course travel. As you said, I actually recently moved to Austin, Texas, and I found it to be a great resource for finding restaurants and coffee shops and just things to do in my local area. And that really got me thinking about how destinations could really harness the platform to showcase their offerings. So I'm really excited about this.
Yeah, that's a great overview. And you mentioned how useful it is, right? Because you had recently moved, you had mentioned, to Austin. And I know even as we were kind of talking pre-show a little bit, we were talking about how, how this has been a great resource for you to find and connect with some of the locals in the area and some of the local businesses, which is an awesome way. My wife, Alicia, does the same thing. She's, found some great places for us to eat around town, and even up in Phoenix, which is just right up the road from where we're at, that we may not have known about before, right? So it's a great way to market a destination. So speaking of destinations, we're going to go start across the pond here a little bit, with you, Caroline, because looking at some of the data out of TikTok, it's amazing because I think over 100 million active users are currently in Europe, and it's growing, which is just insane number to think about. So can maybe you share some examples of clients that are having some success using TikTok over in your neck of the woods?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've seen some absolutely amazing, great creative global industry examples, particularly coming out of Europe. You know, we've seen Visit Liverpool in the UK. They've been sharing things like open top bus and cycling tours, plus highlighting specific partner restaurants on the TikTok platform. You know, and that's really around supporting their local stakeholder engagement as well and working with their partners, which is amazing to see. And then we've seen clients in Europe sort of stepping this up a little bit. So you've got examples like Visit Estonia. They created a whole campaign the end of last year focused around dancing the tough times away, which we all love right now. And they initiated this sort of TikTok dance challenge, which combined a traditional Estonian folk dance, and then they gave it a really cool modern twist, even using a famous Estonian artist to create the music. So they were encouraging residents to go to sort of best known landmarks and attraction in their region and then dance. And what I love about this is it perfectly aligns with this concept of localhood that we're talking with quite frequently at the moment. So they're highlighting this old and new and reflecting shared community values. You know, they've been encouraging residents plus then future visitors to showcase and celebrate Estonian culture, which I think is a beautiful thing. And then we've also seen from clients and partners that we've seen, Switzerland Tourism, they took this another step further. So they've hired 4 Swiss digital natives, all in their 20s, to work as freelance TikTokers for the tourism board. I think it was January last year that Switzerland Tourism were one of the first national tourism organizations worldwide to post a video on TikTok. So they've been a real, what can you say, a TikTok pioneer in Europe, really. So each of these freelancers has come from a completely different part of Switzerland. So they've got their own style and focus. So they're keeping this visual storytelling content fresh and really diverse. But what I loved about this is it also is there's been a lot of concerns about not being able to attract a younger next generation talent pool within the industry. There's been fears about being deemed as an unstable industry and this sort of new normal. But what I love is Switzerland Tourism have managed to align this new normal and also support the next generation in the job market. So lots of great creative examples coming from Europe.
Yeah, I will echo that and say those are really, really good examples. It was really amazing when we were talking about and you were sharing some of these. I think one of the big things that you mentioned I think is important is to be able to show culture, right? That's a hard thing to do. And again, for somebody who maybe doesn't know a lot, let's use Estonia, for example, who doesn't know maybe a lot about that culture and how important actually dance is to that culture, they were able to incorporate that and at the same time be able to market some of the great attractions and beauty in that destination and really then connect with an audience. I think it's a really, really, really cool thing to see. And then on the Switzerland side of things, if they ever get an opening, will you refer me, please? Because I think that would be one of the coolest jobs probably ever to have. Switzerland looks fantastic, and I think to be able to have a team out there and be forward thinking like they are, to be able to market a destination using that is a really, really great example. So, Cody, I want to come back over to you then on this because things have, as you kind of mentioned in the beginning, have really started to take off over here as well. You know, what trends then maybe, or what things are you seeing over here with DMOs in North America around TikTok?
Yeah, I think it's been really cool to see what our partners over in the European market have been doing. And I think to an extent, they've actually embraced the platform a little bit quicker than North American DMOs have. But we are starting to see people really jump on and take advantage of it. And there's some people who are doing some really cool things. Travel Manitoba is doing some great work. They have actually about 30,000 followers on the platform, which is pretty impressive. And they just started by showcasing very short 5-10 second clips of just Manitoba's natural beauty. And they've sort of evolved from there as those started taking off to starting to highlight local businesses, places to eat, things to do. And they're doing a great job. I'm ready to book a ticket right now up there. And then another example is Tempe Tourism. And they're doing similar things and showcasing their local partners in Arizona. But they're also showcasing COVID-19 protocols in local restaurants, which I thought was a kind of really cool way to get that information out. And they did a dinner date series around Valentine's Day where they showed places that you may want to go for your Valentine's Day dinner and showed their Valentine's Day specials. So I found that to be pretty creative as well. And one thing they're doing really well is using popular sounds within the platform. So I won't dive too much into that, but essentially you can add a sound to your video, and there's a list of sort of trending sounds. And if you use one of those very popular sounds, it will sort of increase the video views. So I think they're doing a really great job there. And then a third example is Experience Kissimmee down in Florida. And they have a really, really fun page. They have some really unique content in that they are around a lot of theme parks. So they've really been showcasing those fun experiences that you can find in Kissimmee and the surrounding areas. And they have really hopped on sort of these trendy video formats, as far as, I think they did one that was what theme park you should visit based on your zodiac sign, or what we ate in a day at Universal Studios. So those are really trendy video formats that, again, if you kind of are hopping on those trends, it's going to make it show up in more people's pages. So really increasing their views as well. So if you're looking to get on the platform, definitely those are 3 examples that I would look at and take a look at their content for some inspiration.
Yeah, and Cody, similar to Caroline, those are really, really good examples. And one thing I think it shows also is the diversity of the platform, right? Because you're able to try a bunch of different things, from showcasing, things like theme parks, right? Which again would make a lot of sense in Kissimmee's place. But then trying out some of these trendy videos and using it for COVID-19 protocols, like Tempe's doing up the road here. Really, really, really cool examples of the diversity and the ways that you can try different pieces of content that are going to resonate with different audiences. And then for Manitoba to have almost 30,000 followers is pretty amazing. Again, because it's a new platform, right? Getting some of that first mover advantage for a lot of folks because they're looking for that content. And that type of platform can absorb more content because the videos are short, right? It's not long. There's not a lot of long form, so it's easy to be able to get in front of, or easier, I should say, to get in front of a lot of people because of just the length of the content. So excellent examples from both of you. So, one thing we've asked everybody along the way is just advice. And so, Caroline, I want to start with you because you talk to so many people throughout the year. So I really like to get some advice from you about, or that you'd even like to give to our DMO friends out there who are maybe thinking about using TikTok.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't know about you, but due to the pandemic, we've really been driven to escape and effectively entertain ourselves. And digital's really obviously been at the center of this. We've been helping us to find connection, especially during times of lockdown. I can promise you that here in Wales. And I don't know about you, but I've been in that dreaming stage of travel for about 12 months. And TikTok is just another great platform to be able to leverage this pent-up demand and influence future travel arrivals. TikTok's going to be able to help destinations stay close to not only future visitors, but also your local residents, as Cody's alluded to. Think of it as a new platform to showcase your destination, create authentic content, drive awareness, and celebrate what makes your destination unique. With customer experience becoming such a key part of travelers' decision process, the question really is, can DMOs afford not to use a platform that's got such a wide global reach and that you can actively help influence future travelers' booking decisions? At the end of the day, anyone can go viral without a single follower.
Yeah, no, that's really, really, really good advice. And your point about the dreaming stage, right? That dreaming and planning is where most DMOs live, right? And people are looking for that. And you can see the numbers. If you look at some of the data that we provide, even on our website, you're seeing things to do content ticking up. You're seeing homepage visits start to tick up. We're seeing events even starting to pick up. That's telling us that people are planning right now, and they're in that consideration phase. And this is a really, really great platform to stay connected, or to use it as a driver to some of your other platforms, right? That showcase some of your other long form content. So Cody, I want to ask the same question over to you. And again, because you're pretty plugged into the space, what advice can you give DMOs out there who are thinking about using TikTok?
Yeah, well, first of all, I agree with everything Caroline just said. I think that was great advice, especially the part, you really can go viral. You don't have to have any followers. So it's a lot of great opportunity there. I would say my 2 main pieces of advice would be, first and foremost, don't underestimate TikTok's audience. I think the biggest pushback we get is that's an app for teenagers. And it's not true anymore, right? It's more millennials and Gen Xers are joining every day. And as the platform continues to increase in popularity, we're going to see those numbers go up. But that said, also don't underestimate Gen Z's impact on the market as well. They are going to be a very big travel segment in the coming years, and they already are starting to travel. So I would definitely look at this as a way to reach multiple different audiences, and you have to reach them where they're at. You're not going to reach a Gen Zer on Facebook. They're not there. So if you want to communicate with that audience, you need to be where they're at. And if there's one thing we've learned in the last couple of years, it's just the impact that social media has on travel planning. And I think it's something like 70-something% of people have booked a trip based on photos they've seen on social media. So definitely take advantage of that opportunity to reach different audiences. And then my second tip would be to create content that you can really push across multiple audiences. I get it. I'm a social media manager myself. I run the Simple View social media channels. The last thing you want to hear is you have to create content for another platform, right? We have Facebook, we have Instagram Reels, Snapchat. The list sometimes feels like it doesn't end. But video content isn't going anywhere. And short form video content is definitely not going anywhere. As Jason said earlier, Instagram launched Reels, YouTube launched Shorts, Snapchat's developing a competitor. So this isn't going away. So I think if you can sort of embrace it now and start creating content that you can push across multiple channels, that's going to make it easier on yourself. That said, if you just absolutely don't have the time or the resources, as Caroline mentioned earlier with Switzerland, reach out to those local influencers and those bloggers, those destination advocates. People are absolutely creating content on your destination on TikTok right now. So get on there, find them, find people who are doing it well, and establish partnerships with them and really take advantage of those. So I think those would be my two biggest pieces of advice.
Well, guys, that is excellent. Really, really insightful episode. I think you guys did such a great job of not only showing examples of DMOs who are already doing great work in this platform, but it's really, really good advice. And I'd imagine there's going to be so much more to come on this as more and more clients are doing this. I'd imagine in the near future, we'll probably have some clients on to start talking about this a little bit more, but important to get it out there. And so thank you both for taking time out of your busy schedules to come on. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
You bet. And thanks for tuning in each and every week. If you're not subscribed, please do so now. We're also available on podcast through Spotify and iTunes. So thanks for tuning in, everyone. We'll see you next time, and have a great day.